children, welcome to a new lecture. Sometimes it only takes one image to tell the story. Can you identify the character from this image? I hope you all might have guessed it right. Yes, he is Wangchuk from the movie Three Idiots. But you must be wondering why teacher is telling this to us. This is because our next chapter is in relation to this particular character. Yes, we are going to talk about the real Wangchuk, Sonam Wangchuk. There are people who work for themselves and there are people whose work inspires others and makes a difference to the society. One such innovator is Sonam Wangchuk, the man behind countless inventions and initiatives. His life so far has been testimony to the power of enterprise mixed with social welfare. The objective behind this chapter is to read about a Ladakhi engineer's path-breaking ideas to solve ecological problems in his region. Sonam Wangchuk is an Indian engineer, innovator and education reformist. He is the founding director of the Students' Educational and Cultural Movement of Ladakh, which was founded in 1988 by a group of students who had been, in his own words, the victims of an alien education system foisted on Ladakh. Sonam Wangchuk has been awarded at various platforms, notably the ISA Honor Award 2017, San Francisco, CA, the GQ Men of the Year Awards, Social Entrepreneur of the Year 2017, Rolex Award for Enterprise 2016, International Terra Award for Best Earth Building 2016, Man of the Year by the Week 2001, and many more. Sonam Wangchuk's life is truly inspiring and highlights the concept of conscientious enterprise business that helps the society. The Rolex Award for Enterprise is an international philanthropic program that supports new and ongoing projects by individuals who have touched all aspects of humanity by expanding knowledge or improving life on the planet. Sonam Wangchuk became the only second Indian to win a Rolex Award for Enterprise on November 15, 2016. Sonam Wangchuk's invention. Sonam Wangchuk comes across a very affable, humble human being. His life Sonam Wangchuk's invention. Sonam Wangchuk comes across as a very affable, humble human being. His lit frame betrays the years that he has put into the educational and cultural movement in Ladakh, the remote land of high passes. The movement has instigated an alternate pragmatic approach towards education. Concurrently, it has also led to the invention of ice stupas, tall towers or little mountains of ice which can potentially help resolve the water scarcity problem in the cold desert. As you can see in the picture here, this is the image of ice stupa glaciers made by or invented by Sonam Wangchuk. Now there are some interesting facts to know about Ladakh. Ladakh is made up of two words, La meaning mountain pass and Dak meaning country. Therefore, it is also known as the land of high passes. Due to its high altitude, it is freezing cold and dry in Ladakh. Nevertheless, the land is renowned for its exotic landscape and beauty. Let us talk about Sonam Wangchuk's initial years. Sonam Wangchuk was born in 1966 in Uletokpo near Alchi in the Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir. For a man who has had a definite impact on his surrounding, it does come as a surprise that he did not start receiving formal education until the age of 9. Sonam Wangchuk was born and brought up in a tiny village of 5 households about 70 km from Leh. He spent the first 9 years of his life learning in what he calls a holistic, harmonious way. He even says, "There weren't any schools in my village, so I learned to read and write from my mother." I played in the fields, sowing seeds, working with animals, jumping in the river, climbing trees. My early skills were so developed by these experiences that when I finally joined school at 9, I got promoted twice in a year. So, this was the reason why he could not join the school till the age of 9, as there were no schools in his village. Few more facts to know. According to a survey conducted by Himalayan Institute of Alternatives (HIAL) in 1996, almost 95% students had failed their board exams. Wangchuk, over the next 2 decades, introduced alternative learning practices and innovative majors that reduced this number to 25%. Wangchuk is not just an engineer, he is also an innovator and education reformist. All the formative experiences shaped his future, and his frustration against the education system led him to start the students' cultural and educational movement of Ladakh, that is Sekmol. He wanted to take care of the ones who still failed, and he gave them a new chance and relaunched them. His work also involved reforming the government school system, creating awareness in the youth about the insensitive school education system, and harnessing solar energy for the benefit of the villagers. So his school, that is Sekmol, is a sustainable school in that particular region. Now let us take a look at a short video which tells us about his innovative invention, that is the ice stupas. I would like to give thanks to DW News for this video.
This is not a remnant of a melted glacier. It's an artificial water reservoir, the shape of which is reminiscent of a Buddhist sanctuary. A stupa made of ice. The idea was conceived by Sonam Wangchuk, an engineer from Ladakh in northwestern India.
Now, cones are shapes which have minimal surface area for the volume, so the sun cannot melt it as quickly as it does horizontal flat ice. And therefore, it melts slowly as the summer approaches, and as it melts, it gives its water to the farmers.
Ladakh is famous for the world's highest altitude cold desert. In a region which gets only between 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall annually, the glaciers have been a life source for ages. They provide water for the cities and for the farmers as well. But due to climate change, almost 20% of the glaciers in the area have been lost in the last 50 years. Although the glaciers melt during summertime, there is still water scarcity during certain months.
What many people don't understand, for farmers, the challenge of water is only in springtime, April, May, which is when they need water and which is when the glaciers are still not warm enough up there.
That means they don't melt. A wooden scaffold serves as a skeleton for the ice stupa. In winter, scarce meltwater from the mountains is transported in underground pipes to lower regions. Due to the difference in pressure, it shoots up all by itself.
And the -20 air will extract the heat in the water, and then it falls down and freezes in the shape of a cone. And the beauty is that you don't need machines or pumps or electricity or fuels or pollution, none of that. It's all gravity, simple pipes.
It's summer now. This stupa is 5 months old, built by the inhabitants of a nearby village. Originally, it held over 15 million liters of water. About 50,000 liters melt daily. With the water flowing from the ice stupa, the village in the valley has enough water available for the timely irrigation of the fields. Sonam Wangchuk is co-founder of the students' educational and cultural movement, Sekmol. Because the young people will one day have a say in the fate of the region, they need to know how the stupas help the farmers. However, in the long run, artificial glaciers are only a makeshift solution.
Ice stupas are not just a method of making water, but it is also a message from the mountain people to the people in big cities of the world. It is equally important that you in the big cities do everything to mitigate climate change and change your lifestyle. So my message is that please live simply in the big cities of the world so that we in the mountains can simply live.
There are now about 25 ice stupas in the region. To create them, it needed just a leap of the imagination. What's needed now is change on a global scale.
As we saw in the video, Sonam Wangchuk is also appealing to the people to live a sustainable life. And let's fight against the climate change. Home to about 100 students who have failed their 10th grade exam, the school, that is SECMOL, has the distinction of taking failures from the system and making living there a learning experience in itself. Wangchuk says that the students run the school themselves, like a little country with its own elected government. They learn by doing, they farm, keep animals, make food products, and engage in solving real life problems that they face in these harsh climatic conditions. Here are some quotes by Sonam Wangchuk. We created a school in 1999 where admission was granted on the criteria that you have failed. I would say, I'm going to make it a point to spend my winters in Ladakh. I may not spend summers, but I'll spend my winters, because if I don't spend my winters, I won't know the problem. If I don't know the problem firsthand, I won't be motivated to find solutions. I'm going to spend the toughest time in Ladakh every year, and I think that was such a good decision. Don't blame the child for forgetting lessons. Make the lessons unforgettable. Looking at the video, I would just like to say it is for this simple yet genius invention that Wangchuk was bestowed with the Rolex Award for Enterprise. He now plans to use the prize money as the seed fund for his dream project, the Himalayan Institute of Alternatives. The institute aims to create a sustainable ecosystem of constant innovation, wherein the youth from different Himalayan countries will come together to research the issues faced by mountain people in the field of education, culture, and environment. He also says that the participants will also formulate ways to solve those issues through out of the box ideas and practical application of knowledge. The world needs real world universities, doer universities. We are going to set up one model of it in Ladakh. It is his dream, and if it is successful, we hope it will have a ripple effect from New Delhi to New York, Wangchuk enthusiastically signs off. So this is all about we have learned in this chapter. This is the image of the ice stupa, and as I always believe that we all must work towards achieving the sustainable development goals to live a sustainable life.